for anyone at home, check out what Alfred looks like in Merry Little Batman.
Oh yeah, they did him dirty.
They did him really
He
dirty.
looks like Thanksgiving from last year. It's like if you pluck the feathers and then you just didn't do anything with it. Jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great, on her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. I'm like, honey, it's V, it's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh man, yeah, you just okay, you know the DMV sloth?
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this guy.
You're listening to On the Rewind.
Alright, hello, this is Adam just coming in to give you a quick apology. Found out that the episode on my end was recording through the microphone on my MacBook Air, so I'm going to sound kind of tingy. Tried to mess with it a bit, but kind of this is what we got. Gonna fix that problem in future episodes, of course. But I do hope that you give this episode a chance. We had some great banter, some great back and forth, and we'll be back full strength next Thursday.
This is On the Rewind, a Neon Blinds Media production, hosted by Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM, and you can rewind us wherever you got your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Music. I'm Derek.
I'm Adam.
How's your week been, Adam?
Week's been pretty good. Mostly consisted of this past weekend. Just for context, we're recording on the Tuesday, and my big Christmas office party happened on the Saturday, and I'm just feeling okay now to finally record. Yeah, that is a story and a half to get into right there. For context, where we had our office Christmas party was actually a sponsored event from a company that we work very close with. They gave us box seats at a hockey game, and they gave us free booze, free food, and like exclusive meetups with like the mascot and stuff like that. And to keep everyone kind of hooked and on the line, we are kind of banned from the arena and never going to an event by that said company again. So kind of start off the whole good story there. I went in first because I'd been there before. Kind of got the lay of the land. There's like a fully stocked beer fridge, which is awesome. So immediately cracked a Molson, had a good time there. And then the rest of our party kind of came in. I think it ended up being like 11 employees and then 2 representatives from the place, from the company that sponsored it. And pretty much the night was going pretty well. They brought some food in. Everyone was kind of like realizing that the waitress, you could ask her for 4 drinks and she'd bring you 4 drinks, not questioning a thing.
Oof.
Oh yeah, and like the beer didn't stop coming at all. Like it just like no matter what you asked for, she would bring it, and she kept bringing it. Sweet girl. So I ended up blacking out around 6 drinks in because I had 4 tall boys, and then I had ordered 2 vodka sodas, trying to get something close to a White Claw, and I realized that they weren't close at all, so I just downed them really quick. So that didn't work out in my favor.
Look, you can say it's because they're tall, or we're getting older.
Yeah. Oh no, I trust me. I like after the last couple of days, I've realized how old I've gotten because I went to work yesterday and I should not have. I I puked in the parking lot. I was not feeling good still. So yeah, the rest of the story is kind of hearsay, third party.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, a lot of allegedly is going to be in this.
You're gonna need to have a button that says allegedly for you at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. So I remember popping in and seeing that we had like 2 pizza boxes stacked up on this sink, and I remember stumbling over there, opening them up and realizing that the tap had been running for about 5 minutes. So the pizzas were soaked straight through, which
Oof.
which is great. The beer fridge ran out pretty quick. Allegedly, I met this really nice girl that let me vape in the washroom with her. Um, that was great because apparently you can't leave an arena anymore and like have a smoke break. You have to, yeah, like if you leave, you can't come back in because they think
Really?
because they think that you might. Yeah, I kind of understand. They think you might bring something in, and they can't search everyone and all that. And they can't like keep security there. And it's just cheaper. And plus, yeah, smoking is
Okay,
frowned upon.
hold on. When did you start vaping?
I haven't. I didn't. I literally just. I needed a smoke really bad, and yeah, the one person that was there was like, oh, God, I have this vape, but I'm kind of worried about like. Or she also smokes, and she's like, we can't smoke in here. There's no way. And I go, we can't, because I checked the washrooms, and they're fitted out for fire alarms and stuff like that. They're ready for you. So I'm like, but a vape should be good. So, we sneak in there and we start vaping, and nothing goes
Allegedly.
off. Allegedly. So yeah, that was pretty great. I come back and the main man that's going to be in most of these stories, we're going to call him Vinny. Vinny Diesel, yeah, he is a chronic alcoholic. Says that he admits it as much too. He has fallen down the cement steps to our little, because there's like the box, then there's steps down to like a couple rows of seats, and then a glass balcony to look over. Fell down the steps, almost went over the glass balcony. And yeah, that's a story down at least or two, because we're on the 3rd floor. So we picked him up, got him in his seat. He was good. And then I kind of don't remember much up until then. There was a bunch of gift cards out for all of the employees.
All right.
And I remember snapping to and seeing the owner shoving about 4 of them into her purse. And that was kind of great to witness, because I remember
Allegedly,
I remember walking over there and grabbing one out and folding it. The gift card is mangled, and I put it in my back pocket. So,
I guess 6 drinks in. Yeah, holding it makes sense.
To be fair, I'm actually just elaborating on that. I don't know. I found my pants in my office soaking wet, just water. I checked. Don't worry.
Sip check.
Yeah, I did. I found them the next. Oh, actually, at that morning at 4 a.m., I found them. I was like, oh God, please don't tell me I did this. And then I check. I'm like, okay, no, we're good. Okay. And I found the full card just folded up in there, and I was like, cool. And 50-50 tickets I didn't check either. So then what happened next? There's a couple employees that got into a relationship and then broken up, and then there was a huge spat there. And
Are these the same ones with the drummer kit?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He knows. Yeah. Allegedly. Yeah. So they got to kind of a little bit of a spat, not really, and he decided to leave. So
he's the only one that's not banned.
Pretty well, yeah. Then the mascot came, and I will show you a photo. I barely can look at this photo without not doing too well. Not gonna lie there.
Not too well. How?
I don't know why. I just want to puke every time I see it.
So it's like you're my version of tequila embodied in another human being.
Yeah, yeah. It for some reason just does not. It's just one of those things where I look at it and I taste it, and I'm like, I don't want to taste.
What do you do? Like lick the costume or put the hat on and smell it?
Oh God, I can't remember. And the worst part is I don't like blacking out. I haven't blacked out since allegedly in high school I was at a wedding of a friend and then I grinded the bride. But that's the last time I've blacked out, and I don't know if anyone else listening has blacked out. It's a very weird experience that I don't like because you can't pinpoint anything, right? You just I don't know. I don't like it. It's lost time. No one likes it. It's kind of scary. Um,
It might be the liquor, but y'all look fairly happy.
oh yeah, we were all real happy.
Those are some genuine smiles, though. Like, there's the photo up, and then there's this, like, yeah, I'm about a case deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smiles.
I didn't. Oh wow. They had two.
You were smiling pretty solid there.
Yeah, and it's just weird.
The
not
first one.
Yeah, not knowing what was happening. Also, just for our context and no one else's, the guy on the very far left in the blue and black.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Vinny.
Okay, Vinny Diesel.
Yeah, Vinny Diesel. So, yeah, what else happened? One of the pumpers tried to get the number of the very, very sweet waitress. She was so nice to him. The guy's a great.
Is it the guy in the brown coat?
Not the guy in the brown coat. The guy with the black baseball cap, glasses, white, looks like a jersey on.
Really?
Yeah. He's a grandfather. He's a sweetheart too. He is so nice.
How old was this waitress looking?
Oh God, she was like, I'm gonna say allegedly for his sake, she was fresh out of high school.
Okay, let's not then.
Yeah. No, she like it was so funny too.
Bleep.
Yeah, because she was so sweet about it too, and he's so freaking harmless that he was having fun and then he left. But yeah, so some people left. The pizzas got soaked. Owner tried stealing some cards. I was vaping allegedly. That was kind of great. And the guy fell down. And then it's kind of funny. They locked the beer fridge after a certain point. And it's funny that they locked it because it was empty, but they still locked it. So Vinny Diesel goes up and doesn't like that it's locked, tries opening it.
I think I know why they locked it. They're probably like, yeah, this crowd's having enough.
Well, there was no beer left in it. It was empty.
Huh?
It was completely empty. Yeah. So he tried getting into it, couldn't get into it, and kept trying.
And this was Vinny Diesel?
This is Vinny Diesel, yeah. And that wasn't going over too well with the stadium. So then we started leaving, and I somehow because thank God my mom was there to drive me home. She was driving me and Vinny Diesel home, and we were the only two that really blacked out. You wouldn't know it though, because I was like a sprinter. I got to the car no problem, and got in there. There was no issue. I walked like I was stone cold sober, and my mom has kind of like a bum leg from cancer, and she's in the middle. She looks back, and Vinny Diesel is walking.
Was he practicing his two-step at the rodeo?
He was walking and peeing at the same time across the parking lot.
Oh,
He and Mom looks and she goes, "I don't." It looked like a hose was on for 2 straight minutes. This man was shuffling, and it was just coming out, and he was stepping on it. And as he was walking, he gets into the car, and I didn't know any of that at the time, and my biggest joke of the whole night was saying no problem after anything.
yeah.
Like, kind of smoke, no problem. Just dropped my smoke, no problem. It was lit, no problem. And he kept asking if I had beer at my place. I said yes, no problem. I didn't have any. I see on my Ring camera, I shoot into the house like no problem. Catch myself on the recycling. My mom comes in, she's swearing to all high heaven, and Vinny comes in. I hear him open up the fridge and he goes, "There's no effing beer in here." And I hear me scream, "No beer, no problem." And I flap down on the couch. A cat screams. I think I trampled one of them. I checked. They're all good. We're all fine. Um, and then my mom reconfigures me so that I'm good in the safe position. Puts my puffer in my hand. Puts my phone next to my head. Leaves. I wake up at 4 a.m. with a shirt on and a shirt on. I somehow, and in my own bed, up a flight of stairs. So I somehow put on a shirt, and then I destroyed / mangled a shirt and put it on through the neck hole as pants.
Both legs?
Both legs. Both legs. I woke up wearing like a skirt type thing. And I was like, oh God, did I put on Kayla's clothes? And then I walk into the bathroom. I can't find my glasses at this point or my phone. And I kind of catch myself. And it's one of my Raptors shirts is like around my waist as a skirt. And I'm like,
Was it signed or was it regular?
oh, it was a regular. It was from Blue Notes. Thank
Okay.
God. Yeah. Oh, I would have been upset. I was like, what the hell happened? I had a bruise on my arm. I'm like, oh God. So then I try and find my phone. And then that's when I found all my clothes soaking wet in my office with my chair on its side. I think I had stepped in some of the cat water and then tried to clean it up with the rest of my clothes. That's the only thing I can think of. Then I tried to find my phone, found it where she had set me down, and then I go to find my glasses and I mangled them. The nose things were like ripped right off somehow. I had to go get them.
Your backup pair or you got a replacement?
I'm gonna have to get a replacement, but actually, like the nose piece, one was ripped right off. So I went into Lens Crafters the next day. It took me like 40 minutes in the Belleville Mall of like hyping myself up to get into this place. And I went in there and I realized afterwards, because someone told me, I reeked of beer and puke. but like but my glasses were cutting into my nose because I had ripped the thing off somehow.
Yeah.
I still never found it. I just go up to him. I go, hey. He goes, hey man. like, I need some work done on my glasses. He goes, an adjustment maybe? I go, no, I need repairs. He goes, all right, give them here. And he goes, oh wow, how'd you do that? I go, I have zero idea. And he just starts laughing. He goes, oh, like it fell off? I go, either I ripped it off, it fell off, or someone ripped it off for me. I don't really understand. And he just starts chuckling and he walks back and he files it down. He goes, I can take the other one off, file it down, it'll somewhat match. I go, sweet. And then there's a small pillar there. and I slump over it because all my energy I found in the parking lot was gone. And I just slump over that pillar. And all of a sudden, I feel a tap on my shoulder. I look up and he goes, "Here's your glasses, buddy." I put them on and I look to him for validation. And he goes, "Like $1,000,000, man." I go, "Thank you." And I started walking to the food court and I just said, "F it." And I went to Tim Hortons. I got 2 balls of water and a farmer's wrap. Never even ate the farmer's wrap. And I puked up most of the water.
At least you got water in you, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I kept trying to sip water, and I kept puking it up.
Yeah, well, you probably still had alcohol poisoning from Saturday.
Yeah. So we go back to Vinny Diesel. Turns out that he had fallen another time at some place and cracked both of his ribs. Sorry, 2 of his ribs, like pretty good. And also, when my mom was driving him home, the car light turns on when he goes to get out, and his whole pants were soaking wet with piss. He had not really. Oh yeah, he had not. Yeah, thank God she had a dog blanket underneath him, which she threw in his front lawn. Yeah. So the best moral of that is the fact that he was just drunk enough that everyone razzed me a bit, but no one really cared too much as they cared about him.
So if you're hearing now, well, we left a little bit of a blank, decided, wanted to didn't want to doss any information out, so yeah, we're real sick of allegedlys, and that one was a little too on the nose.
Yeah. So, for the most part, everyone had a good time. The arena was, well, I guess in a way nice enough to just very kindly say, you guys probably should not come back for any more Christmas parties here. And, yeah, the GRE people
So see you next Easter?
Yeah, see you next Easter. I feel frig. Yeah, and then like, okay, so definitely Vinny Diesel cannot come back to any events sponsored by us anymore, just because of probably purely insurance purposes more than anything.
I mean, you can always bring me in as a substitution. I won't get it. I'll be on good behavior.
I actually tried. I tried a few times. I just said, I was like, one of the gas technicians was kind of like hoping to get a ticket because he's helped us out so many times. And then it got all the way up till the owner, and she goes, "What's his name?" I go, "Derek McCauley." And he's like, "No."
You might have been able to get away with it if you just said if you're your buddy.
Maybe, but also no. She's all about like, "Oh no, it has to be like the family." I'm like, "Well, he's family, so it's okay." Yeah, so that.
Luckily, if you made that argument, you could have got it. That's the lie of the technician that did you in.
Well, it would have been nice because actually, I would have prayed to God you would have pulled me out sooner. Because there was.
Oh, I probably would have seen you start heading downhill. I'm like, water for this guy here.
Well, I know, like, get me out of there. There was some other problems I was having. So yeah. For the most part, though. Great time.
All right. If you run into one of those problems, do you want me to actually pull you out? Because I feel like you might get frustrated if I try pulling you out of a good time.
I don't know. Just bear hug.
I got you. Just
bear hug and we're out.
I just want sober consent. To be a dick to drunk you.
So yeah, it was pretty wild Christmas party for what really should have been a pretty
tame.
Yeah. If you think about it, it's like the convenience store Christmas party is probably going to be boring as hell.
Like that sounds like a Christmas party at a UFC fight.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, and that's just about as much as I could share on radio. But
Or a
yeah,
football game, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. Um, so yeah, pretty much that took me out for a lot, a lot. Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
just kind of feeling okay now, and then most of the rest of my stories are just gonna be some of the TV that I watched in bed for like.
Well, what did you binge?
Okay, so really good. Obliterated. Heard of it yet?
Okay, I've heard of it. I've seen the thumbnail. Have not watched it.
It's a pretty good watch. It's to kind of sum it up for viewers at home, think of an elite task force full of like different people all trying to disarm a handheld nuke that is in Las Vegas. About to go off, they disarm it at the last minute. This is still like 10 minutes into the show. Disarm it at the last minute. They're like, "Sweet, no one knows what we did because this is so spec ops that they're never going to know." They decide, okay, well, we're going to empty the operational war chest, which is all the cash that they have for this operation, into one big party to celebrate that they stopped Las Vegas from getting wiped off a map. So they end up doing Molly. The helicopter pilot gets dosed with guac that has like a pound of acid and a pound of mushrooms into it. And yeah, for the most part, they all just get obliterated out of their minds. And then halfway through this party, they get a call saying, "Hey, that nuke was a fake. It was just enough radiation to trip off the sensors," because the arms seller was trying to double dip and sell to a guy twice. So the real nuke is still active. So you have 7 hours to do it. No one else knows anything about this because it's so covert op. You are the only people we could have get on this. Can you do it? And they're like, "Well, actually, sir." And the guy's like, "And obviously, since you're trained professionals, you celebrate responsibly." They go, "Yes, we did, sir. We're ready to go at it." And the next 7 episodes are those 7 hours of like the helicopter pilot all of a sudden sees a gremlin destroying his helicopter. The one sniper has Molly eyes for a second and like misses her shot completely and hits a door dasher.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, and like I won't say anything else, but it's a really good show for like a pretty good laugh. And yeah, it's not.
Sounds like if Brickleberry went military.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's actually a really good one. Cuz yeah, it's like there's not too much depth to it. It's pretty all surface level. You can pick up all the themes that they're putting down. So
Much depth as Cocaine Bear.
yeah, yeah. You're like, okay, yeah, obviously these two like each other and these two don't like each other, but like there's some father issues here probably, and you pick up everything when you see it. But no, it's a really good watch for if you have like a weekend and you want to put something on, I fully suggest it. And then I watched something that I had on my calendar for a very long time, Merry Little Batman.
Okay. I saw that on Amazon. I haven't watched it.
It is amazing. So, oh my god, it's not that good. I like Batman, so it's good. It's an animated Christmas movie about the fact that Batman had a kid, and when he realized he was having a kid, he took out all the crime in Gotham. Just like that. He threw all his money at stuff and he threw all his powers at stuff, and he actually cleaned up Gotham in like a couple months, which is hilarious to think of. The whole time he was like, yeah, I'm just kind of half-assing it here, but like now I actually have to go full at it. So yeah, and then his kid desperately wants to be Batman, but there's no crime to have. So that's pretty much just kind of the whole story of that. I'll let anyone who actually wants to watch it watch it. A highlight for me was seeing all the criminals that he put into retirement. Is like they all have like tropical shirts on, and they're all old, and like it's in the trailer. Batman has a beard, and he's like super protective of his kid. And yeah, he calls him like, "Oh, are you okay, little snuggle bear? Are you okay?" It's like, "Yes, Dad. I'm a crime fighter." It's like, okay, that's sweet as hell.
It makes me think though, because if you go back into like the comic book or some of the animated movies or even the shows, there's always the Joker element of like, you need me.
Yep.
You
Yep.
need me to be the broken you want to be.
Oh yeah, and it's actually
That's why you
funny
can't kill me.
because the Joker that they show in it also has a vacation shirt on, which I don't know if you know. Usually that Joker is the most messed up one.
Yeah.
That's usually the one that like paralyzes Barbara Gordon and stuff like that. So
Well,
it was kind of funny to see the parallels of like, no, this is supposed to be kind of like a fun kids type thing.
yeah. Well, like I actually saw it earlier this week. So there's this comic book where Joker kills Alfred.
Really?
Yeah, and he sends it back to the Wayne Manor,
Mm-hmm.
with Alfred all chopped up.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then Joker's on a blimp.
Yeah.
Batman goes all out on him, asks him why, and then Joker goes on this whole thing about how you and I are soulmates from another life, and they end up in this struggle to where Batman's hanging off the blimp because he beat Joker up around it and ended up breaking it. It's gonna crash.
Yeah.
They're now hanging off the outside of it,
Okay.
and Joker convinces him to let go. And like the last panel of the comic book, they're holding hands while they're like flattened out on a roof.
Oh, that's a little much.
Yeah, well, you know,
Jeez.
God's a Batman.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Speaking of on a kind of a brighter note, but it's not hard to get a brighter note out of that.
Oh yeah, I set you up real good.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna show you for anyone at home. Check out what Alfred looks like in Merry Little Batman. It is adorable, but they did him so dirty. I'm sending it to you. Oh, Jesus. Right now.
Oh yeah, they did him dirty.
They did him really dirty.
He looks like Thanksgiving from last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the turkey's still raw, though. Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. But besides that, it was actually really good. And Alfred's a sweetheart in it.
It's like if you pluck the feathers and then you just didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and it's funny too. They actually intentionally make him gross too, like because he's British. They're like, "Oh, I love jellied eel and stuff." So it's pretty funny that
Oh
way.
no! All you gotta say is you like black licorice, and I'm like, you're one of those people.
Yeah, no. The only reason I'd ever like that is if I had a problem with my snacks leaving. I would just because that's how I picked up liking hot stuff. Is because all of a sudden my snacks kept leaving. So I gathered a taste for hot, and my partner hates hot. So
Oh, that reminds me. While we're on hot,
you
went to like a Christmas fair
yeah.
thing, and there's this guy out of Coburg selling his salsa there, homemade, and he made it out of fruits.
Oh, that's kind of sick. Like what fruits?
Well, the one I bought off him is an apple-based hot spicy salsa.
Ooh.
Next time you come over,
Yeah.
because I'm the way I'm doing is like I'm literally like, here's a chip, here's a spoon, here, have a sample.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You can't.
Just showing people because I thought it was cool. Like I tried it because like there was also like an authentic Mexican one, and you think, oh yeah, because I like the spicy stuff, I'm gonna go for that. Well, she didn't have samples. This guy had samples.
Yeah.
I liked the sample. Then he got my money, and I bought it, and I in return got a jar.
Well, yeah. Oh, I always say, like, especially for something that you already have a brand that you can go to that you know is going to be good and you will spend your
Or
money on.
consistent at least, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
sometimes it's like, it's crap, but it's the crap I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to give samples if you're like a small one. Obviously,
Yeah.
don't fall into the trap of like people like scamming too money, but like no, you have to be willing to give a little
To
bit.
turn him down for like sample, because every time I walk by, he's like, because I already bought a jar. He's trying to feed
Yeah.
me more, and I'm just kind of like, it's like, oh no, I'm good. Save it for the next guy.
Oh, that is good. That sounds
Also,
good.
while I was there, I got my dad a little Toronto Maple Leaf keychain. He slapped that on his ATV keys.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Like, is it metal or?
The keychain?
Yeah.
No, it was a vendor's market. It was like a Christmas vendor market
Okay.
that we went to, and yeah, no, I had some spiked hot chocolate. Walked around a pretty lit setup at like 7 o'clock at night, and
Well, sounds like a good old fashioned time.
yeah, I didn't bring a hat, so I ended up buying one there. So someone made $25 off me that way because I'm like, ooh, it's getting chilly. Ears are cold.
Yeah, always keep a couple in the truck. Oh, that sounds good though. Now I'm just thinking.
I was thinking next year, rope you and yours into it.
Yeah, is the apple salsa like cinnamon? Cinnamon?
No.
Okay, so it like actually tastes like just regular salsa.
Not even. It's like, I don't know how we got it there, but it's like almost like a spicy Thai sauce, but it's a salsa. But the ingredients that you look at, you're like, that's not Thai sauce ingredients.
That is interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. Wonder how that would work with like a chili.
Oh, it would probably go great. Honestly, like this stuff would be the bomb on like a chicken wrap.
Oh yeah.
Or like fajitas.
Yeah.
Like do up the salsa with the peppers and
yeah. Cause like the fry. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting distracted here. So
we were on hot.
Yeah.
And I segued.
The very last show that I still haven't finished yet is Gen V. Started.
Oh, I watched that. I finished that one.
Yeah, I finally because I had seen it and I'm like, I don't want to have to start a new thing to watch the thing I'm already watching. I started it and I immediately realized that I was just being dumb, and I obviously love it, and it's great.
You'll like the ending.
Yeah. Just for anyone else who has watched it, the Tech Knight thing is hilarious. What his little brain tumor makes him do made me laugh so hard. Just because then because I watched it, I watched ahead of my partner, and then she got pissed and then made me rewatch it. And then as I was rewatching it and you see Tech Knight coming in, every single thing that is a round hole, he stops and looks at. And like when you're kind of watching the first time, you're kind of like, okay, I think he's just doing dramatic effect and stuff like that. Or you're thinking because of his power of deductive reasoning that he's finding some clues or something. But you don't really realize that, he's a sick man. Say that.
I'm not following, but it just clicked in who you're talking about.
Oh,
I think it's my biggest issue.
Yeah, Tech Knight. The
guy that's doing the journalism around the university.
Yeah. So
it took me a minute to catch on because I was like, I watched this a while ago, like when it came out.
I know I am pretty behind on this.
So I am rooting in my skull for ADD fragments.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, it's a really good show. And there's nothing really described there that someone wouldn't already know. It's pretty.
It's a hard show to talk about during the first 55 minutes.
Yeah. There's nothing really I could talk about that would not get us completely banned off of here if I haven't already. So besides that, the last thing I want to wrap up on is I had a cyberpunk experience when I was first starting up again.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, but I probably already said it with my last playthrough. Jackie dies. So Jackie died, and I had already completed all of the missions I possibly could in Watson before Jackie died. So I was
that's what I do too.
Yeah, I was rolling pretty heavy with credits, or eddies, sorry. back in Starfield. Yeah, so I was
Hey,
rolling.
Choom, get the currency right.
Yeah, so I was rolling pretty heavy with Eddie's, and I'm like, cool. So I'm gonna go get my car, and then I forgot that Delamain wrecks your car, and I'm like, okay. So I just go into my hotel, and because now that it's all
Yeah, I
online
haven't done the
based.
new apartment things and all that yet. I beat it when it first came out, and I'm just kind of like I'm just waiting for the Liberty to go on sale.
Oh man. So you can go on your computer now and go to a website called Auto Fixer, and you can buy all the cars.
Oh, that's
You
nice.
you have to unlock certain things to get the cars that you used to, but like for the most part, you can buy all the cars online, which is really nice. So I went and I bought like a $30,000 truck. Just because I was like, that's kind of funny. I have a Ranger in real life. I have a Ranger here. I started driving around, and then I realized I looked at my phone, and there was something from the Metro Cart, which is the new metro system. And I'm like, damn, all right, okay. I reverted my save. I went, met with the guy at Tom's Diner, went, got my car crashed, and then I got a call from Mama Wells, and she's like, hey, Jackie's little funeral thing's happening. And I'm like, okay, I am going to, as a person that has only ever used a GO train, never on a city bus, never on really a city metro that wasn't someone else guiding me, I tackled a metro system in a game, and it was awesome. So they don't really give you any single help with how to use this at all. So you get your little metro card, and I'm like, okay, I'm outside of my apartment. I have to go to the southeast quadrant, go to the El Coyote bar. So I'm looking at this map, and I go, so does that mean that I have to take the A train all the way down to downtown? Then I gotta take downtown. I gotta hop on the E line, which will take me to the South Glen. And then I gotta block walk to the El Coyote. I'm like, okay, maybe. Hop on the metro line, and I'm going the wrong way. So, so all of a sudden, I'm going farther north, and I get off the train. I wait. Next train comes. Get on it, and then there's some. I don't know if I can say crackhead. I just said it. There was a guy there that was kind of acting a little mysterious. Now we'll leave it in. And he kept trying to fight me, and I had to kind of calm him down a bit. And then I got to the switch, and then there was a homeless guy on the train asking me for money. So I gave it to him, not to cause any problems. I got off on South Glen. I started walking, and there was a food vendor there that, instead of now just being able to like purchase a bowl of ramen noodles and it goes into your inventory, you click eat and you eat it, you can actually pay, sit down, and have an animation of eating ramen noodles,
Oh, that's cool.
which is so awesome. So I had a bowl of ramen on my way there, and the experience that I got getting into the El Coyote bar was like, I've only experienced it a few times of actually walking in a big city and getting to your destination, and you just feel relief that you're like, okay, my shoulders are no longer tense and ready for everything to come at me. And I'm like, the journey is over. I'm okay. And it was so much work, but so much fun. I don't know. Because you could you could just fast
Honestly, I think the
travel.
only other thing you could have done that would have probably made it better is just like slap the VR headset on and plug it in and mod it so you can turn around with your head.
Yeah, how funny that would be, just sitting in the train, just. It was funny.
You would have loved it too.
Oh, I would have loved it. It was funny. I've never been so happy of the inconveniences of a game that I was just like, I'm having a good old time, having a hard time getting to my destination, and especially going to a place like the ceremony for Jackie, where it's like everyone knows you too. So you're walking in, and they're like, "What's up, V? What's up?" I go, "Hey, man, traffic was awful." Like, I don't know, you're just walking in, and it felt so real of just like, I'm having an awful day, and now I'm at my best friend's funeral. This is going even better. My car's in the shop. I don't know. So
Yeah,
fun.
no, that's kind of funny in that way. It's yeah, you definitely decided that, like, you know what, I'm gonna RP like a day.
Yeah. Oh god, that was so fun.
It's like if you play like the Red Dead Online or like the RP there, like, no, mind you, I had already gotten a horse, but it's like when I was first getting around, it's like I'm like, oh, I'm in Valentine, I don't have a horse, I just have a revolver, a knife, and a lasso,
Well, yeah, I've actually
and a hunting bow. I'm like, oh, I better take the train over.
yeah, I've talked about that before when you started talking about the Red Dead RP. It's like the most fun to me is the idea that like I can't fast travel anywhere, and if I'm stuck in a remote town where I spawn, it's kind of my town until I can get a viable means to get to a train station or like get a horse. I kind of love that aspect of it,
Yeah.
where it's
Well,
like,
the nice thing about Red Dead is that if you're very like in the RP servers, if you if you know the game well enough, like if you know, like, okay, if I just keep walking and, you know, look for like some water or like some where the grass grows nice and thick and it's kind of some plains, I might find a horse I might be able to rattle into being a ride temporarily.
yeah, yeah, and I actually think you would get the same satisfaction if you like started at the top of the map and went all the way down to Mexico to live somewhere where it's just like this is gonna take me a couple weekdays of just like having a
Oh,
session
and you
after
know, there's
work.
people out there that are like genuine people that are being highwaymen and stuff like
Yeah,
that, and you're riding on your own, and you don't, and your buddies aren't awake, or they're in another town, and you're or whatever. Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happened to them.
exactly. I think you hitched a ride with a guy at one time, and it's like that's exactly what I would do.
The first guy, right?
Yeah,
I was up in the northeast top of the map
yeah.
in Ansburg, right? So I'm like, oh, you know, I'll start as a miner and I'll make money. And I was like, I get talking to a guy. It's like, oh yeah, and the robbers are real bad here. You might want to try and find something out west where the law are more active. And I'm like,
Oh,
all right. He's like, all right, yeah. It's like, oh, don't head south though. There's lots of people that hit that road. I'm like, okay. So I went over to the gunsmith. I bought a bow, a hunting knife, and a pack of arrows and a Schofield. And I hunted my way across the grizzlies until I hit Strawberry on foot.
ah, see, that's cool.
Sold all that, bought my guy a meal, and
Ah, see, that's yeah, that's the cool part.
and then I started like, oh, there's work, and then I read the in-game newspaper. It's like job boom in Blackwater. I'm like, all right, let's head down that way. So I start walking that way. Wagon rolls up. He's like, you need a lift?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, pardon. Start asking. I was like, how do you have such a wagon? Like I'm trying to get my bearings around here, kind of thing, but in a more, you know,
yeah.
subtle manner. And sure enough, that's how I end up at that ranch while I'm laid off from work, waiting to try and find another job. So I had all the time I wanted to spend
Yeah.
on that, and I met a lot of interesting characters, and some of which, like, I really want to go back, but if I do, like, I gotta pull somebody with me.
Yeah.
So it's either gonna be you or some other game guy. But like, I don't know, like, cause you like just that like confirmation, like, yeah, I'm not gonna be sitting on a porch or wandering alone for the
Yeah.
whole like hour I'm setting aside for this.
See, but I kind of, I love the, I think the
It's
journey.
great and all, but just like, I don't know, just someone to banter with, right?
Oh well, yeah, having a
Like,
duo.
there's the Clint Eastwood movie, but the movies like you get in your head. But the thing is, in like when you do these servers, you're not the main character. You're the NPC on the side of that Arthur Morgan's riding past.
Yeah, yeah. So it's always up to like what's gonna happen now, right?
Yeah,
But yeah,
you could be the guy getting robbed. That Arthur Morgan's like, you're on your own.
I know. Oh yeah, I don't know. Just the journey seems so interesting to me that it'd be fun to be a journeyman that's just going around and experiencing everything, having a job for a little bit, getting enough money to get to the next town, and then like kind of having a grand old time, But I also like the aspect of how your journey was pretty much just I'm going in this direction, and all of a sudden I found myself as like working on a
I found
ranch.
yeah, I found my little guy at home, and I got involved in everything, and like then we had the one guy who played Sam Jasper, who was on the
Yeah,
radio show or on our podcast in the very early days.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I enjoy that aspect of just like you're just going out and you're seeing what sticks. But I also do love the aspect of just going out to go out and then just never really laying
Yeah.
down roots. Always just
The only disappointing thing is if you find something that you're kind of like, okay, I like this, I like how this is going, and then the people that are running the server are like, all right, let's change things up, and you're like, this was like my comfort game, and now you're throwing me through drama and hell. What are you doing to me?
yeah. That's the problem with laying down
And then
roots.
when you start, like that was the thing though. It's just kind of like, and why I fell out of it so hard, and why it was kind of hard to get back into. It's just like I found myself in a nice little community, and then through just life, and then me having to go back to work and everything else like that, it was like I found work again. I didn't have the time, and
Oh
even
no.
like the days I do have the time, it's just kind of like I can't do that large of a commitment again to do like that, like right, like it's
That's the
one
problem.
thing to like work at a ranch, but to have like the owner as you're like of that ranch to hand it off to you as you're like, yeah, I start a job next week, and you haven't told anybody out of character yet, and then they're like, yeah, the ranch is in your name now, and you're like, fuck. And I ran as best I could. And he's like, yeah, this, and you know, you're my like right hand man for the ranch side, and this is my right hand man for that also works at the ranch, but he's my crime guy.
Yeah.
It's gonna help you protect the ranch. And then that guy has an IRL kid, and he's like, yeah, I can't do this.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's like
And I don't blame the guy whatsoever, because I'm like, I've always like preached like reality before virtuality. Take care of your real life obligations
Oh, yeah.
before you hop into something like this.
Oh yeah, it's like in dream world you get paid for it, so then you can just commit as much time as you want to it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though, is like if you own the server or you run it and you're doing the Patreon thing,
Yeah.
if you're like one of the coders for it. The one I was on
Yeah.
and the one I joined after that, I started to make kind of like a second home.
Yeah.
But then I started seeing like the like I don't know, different devs. I had the same kind of similar feeling, like, oh, they're changing things because one person did this. I'm like, well, when one person starts ruining things and then they change everything around that, it kind of gets a little like, all right.
Yeah.
So that's where I fell off. I really want to go back to that server though. It's one of those things like I've been gone so long.
Yeah.
It feels weird to go back now.
Be even
I'm like,
cooler.
hey, you
like,
still got a job for me? And it's like, you effed off for like 2 months, man. Like,
be great
what
if
do
he
you think?
came back with like a missing leg, and it's just like, what the
Yeah.
hell happened? Okay, that's gonna wrap up our On the Rewind Amherst Island Radio broadcast edition, Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM, and then we're gonna go over to our extended edition onto Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. That's probably where we are. Search us up, give us a listen. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next Thursday.
Welcome back to On the Rewind.
Welcome back to the On the Rewind Extended Edition. We just wrapped up our broadcast on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM. Now, you enjoyed the show so far, please, and you're listening to us on our podcast platforms. If you like what we do, if you want to support what we do, or just give us a little bit of appreciation, I don't know, we're living in a world where we could probably use a little bit of that. You can leave us a rating on Spotify, and if you don't like what we're doing, well, you can go let us know on the socials.
Just don't.
See if we can help you out there.
Beautifully done. So you were saying you have a bunch of news, but also was there anything that had kind of happened in your week that you want to touch on?
Well, did the vendor market? We talked about the Apple salsa.
Actually, yeah, you weaved that in. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. kind of been dry on the shows. I've been playing a lot of Lethal Company.
Oh, yeah. The new Among Us.
No, not even.
I guess new paranormal thing.
Kind. It's
New popular game.
Okay, so yeah, so I'll break it down for you since we're on the extended edition. So you're on a ship, and you have no memory of your life before you got this job. So kind of like that one show, Severance.
Yeah.
You're in the work brain.
Awesome.
But so there's clues that indicate to you that the lore behind is no one that gets hired by this company remembers what they did before they got hired. Like they have I'm from Earth. I have a wife named Jane. That's where my check goes. That's all I know.
Okay.
It's like, don't even remember what street you live on.
I like it.
But you don't question anything until it's like, it's like, well, do you remember anything before? Oh yeah, I used to drive and then nothing. Kind of thing. And so, SCP? What is the SCP? Oh god, I don't remember what it stands for. Containment Breach Game or whatever?
No. Also, we should play this after the podcast.
Lethal Company?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, so the great thing is I got a small group. We all have mods on it now where we can play with a bigger lobby.
Oh.
So it used to be like a 4-person thing, but we're like doing like huge numbers. It's like in total of us, there's about 6 of us that have it. Right? So it's like, all right, increase the lobby size to 8. We're good to go.
Okay, sick.
So if Lethal Company, you are on the ship, you have a quota to meet, and you got to feed this Cthulhu-like creature with scrap, and they value the scrap by a numeric value and pay you for you to buy more gear or buy your fuel to go to larger planets.
I remember, and you also bought a TV and some decorations and stuff like that.
And screwed us all over.
Yeah. Okay, now it's all coming back to me.
So you go into these facilities that have everything from like what they call a Birkin, which is this guy that will snatch you away in the darkness.
Yeah, Birkin bag.
I don't know about a bag, but yeah.
It's Birkenstock bag, yeah. No.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, I get what you did afterwards, but the ADD does the Oh. Okay, this bit's over before they tune out.
No, it's that cat meme that makes Kayla go absolutely nuts.
Yeah. So you go into these facilities, get the scrap, you feed it to a Cthulhu monster, and you see how many days you can go.
Okay.
They have but the quota gets higher and higher and higher. So at a certain point, you have to stop doing the baby planets, and you have to start going to the scarier planets.
Yeah.
That have more and more creatures.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's honestly it's a fun game. I think it's only like it's 13 Canadian.
Okay. It's not bad.
It'd run on almost about anything. The minimum requirements is a GTX 1050.
I don't know those things.
Let's put it this way. I had a 1070 when I first made my computer. Yeah. They're now coming out with like the 50 series, like the 50, the 5060, 5070, 5080.
Okay.
For NVIDIA. Like, you remember how long ago like ray tracing was like just being talked about? That was the 20 series.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like no problem. Like my old computer could have ran it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably on max settings.
Okay, cool.
But to be honest, it's not a demanding game.
No, I have seen like sort of videos on it. It's one of those things that I'm like,
Smitty plays it. Some other YouTubers play it. Like if you're like into that big craze of like when we were in high school, the popular up and coming guys like H2, Delirious, and cartoons.
I remember them and Vanos. Yeah.
Yeah, they all play it. like I see the thumbnails come
Yeah.
up, so it's like, all right, yeah, they're all giving it a shot. I watched, I think, Smitty play it.
Yeah, I watched Smitty before anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when I was just like, all right, and then went and got it, convinced a couple of the other people that were looking at it. Yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah.
It's $13. Why
Yeah.
not? And yeah, we ended up going for it, and it's probably been like once a week I've been hitting it up with them.
That's cool.
It's only like an hour here or so, but
Yeah.
you get in, get some time in. The finals just dropped this weekend. That I didn't realize it was kind of like it almost like stealth dropped.
Oh yeah.
It feels like.
Yeah, because I just saw a random like ad for it, and then I'm like, oh right, yeah.
Yeah. Payday 3's first DLC came out, like pay for like expansion.
Okay.
They also released 2 classic heists for free.
Sweet.
And on that other news, Baldur's Gate 3 launched on the Xbox. Kind of self-dropped that during the Game Awards. What else? There was some more stuff here. So I know we both kind of talked about it a little bit, but the GTA 6 trailer dropped.
Yeah.
And by dropped, it was leaked the night before.
Yeah, which is always kind of funny how that happens.
Yeah. But they kind of somewhat calculated it. They still broke world records.
Oh, yeah.
And I said that we were going to see the whole video games cause violence spiel happen again. Yeah, that's already in my YouTube feed.
Really?
Oh, yeah. All the Fox News and reporters and everything else like that saying it's like we live in a world where everyone's so sensitive and, we have to walk these very fine lines. And then it's like, what do you think a game like this does to people that live in that crowd?
Yeah.
And you're like, violence.
God. I just love it. I like the Bonnie and Clyde aspect. Said it to you off air. Yeah. I love that aspect. It's always been a cool concept in any TV show, whatever. I think it's gonna go well. Definitely gonna play story.
Yeah. Well, TV shows, I'm kind of picky because there's some people that lean into it a little too hard.
Yeah.
Like relying on like, oh, what's gonna happen to this couple instead of like, and then it's more drama between the two of them rather than the situation that they're in.
Yeah, because, right, couples, stress, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. One that does an okay job with it, but they kind of move on from the Bonnie and Clyde thing, and then they go back to it later on with some flashbacks, is the TV show Animal Kingdom.
Is that the one where animals rise up?
No.
No, that's Zoo.
That's the one where the 3 brothers and the mom and the grandkid are all doing crime.
Yes. Okay, yeah. I never seen it, but I've always liked it. It's one of the...
You would love that show. That would be not as good, but it would be your next Peaky Blinders obsession, I think.
Also, I want to make sure that I'm not crazy. Zoo show.
Thinking Zootopia?
No. Love Zootopia. Absolutely love Zootopia. No, Zoo. Yeah, Zoo was a
Oh, the TV show Zoo. Yeah, where they're like, what's going on with all the animals?
Yeah, and all of a sudden the animals like they take over like with no issue. And then there's like animals that aren't taking over and it's like why aren't they taking over? And then just follows all that. Good show.
One thing I am a little sad about is we're now living in a time where games really don't do couch co-op anymore.
Oh, I know. Trying to find a game for my partner and I is like awful because it also has to be easy.
But some games for that. Vampire Survivor. I saw this blow up like last year and I was just kind of like, eh. But then it was like, got the Xbox, partner wanted to play something. And I was just kind of like, well, this is probably a like low bar to entry. We did it, and they enjoy it. gets a thumbs up from them. Another thing that also is surprisingly couch co-op that came out very recently, Goat Simulator 3.
Oh, I didn't realize that was couch co-op.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I actually have that on the PS5.
Yeah, it's also on Game Pass. I don't gotta buy it.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
But yeah, and I started looking through the actual like library of Game Pass. If it wasn't for the fact that like a lot of the good games get added on later, so I already end up kind of owning them.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot on there that's good. Like I know we haven't hit it in a while, but like the Need for Speed Unbound.
Yeah.
Yeah. They added Remnant 2. I want to see if that has cross play with Steam. If it does, you may got to hit that up. It's like a PvE shooter,
Okay.
hack and slash.
Okay.
But the world, every time you play through the adventure, you can re-roll the worlds, and you get different bosses and different trains.
Okay. It's kind of interesting. Keeps it fresh.
Yeah. For a few playthroughs at
Yeah.
least. And, you know, different bosses drop different weapons, and some bosses, depending on how you kill them, drop different gear.
Okay.
So there's a bit more replayability in that. Everything from where like nature's kind of this taken over, the corruption's taking over the nature, to this city of like fantasy elves that are like a human's here, all that stuff that you're like you're going between planes of existence.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's kind of got its own little neat thing going on with it. But yeah, oh god, I went off track. Circling back to GTA 6, the trailer. That was so good. The Tom Petty song kind of topped it off, and they had that Tom Petty song in the original Vice City game.
Yeah. No, it's just like all of it was just like, okay, this is gonna be a pretty nuts environment, and it's also just gonna be like crazy with just, I don't know.
Well, one thing that's speculated is on the cover where where she's sitting on the car. Yeah. You can see an ankle bracelet.
Oh, really?
And you remember the part of the trailer where she's getting out of prison, or like she's in prison? So I think that's what's going to keep you in your small area at first. You're going small.
Oh, okay.
To start and work your way up into the bigger jobs.
Yeah. That's where the prequel's going to be, where it's like, dude, I have to like, I can only go out for certain hours.
Well, you know how like GTA 3, they had the bridge blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because Night City, the NCPD, had Watson blocked off. So he couldn't go anywhere.
It's that first area there. I think that's what's going to lead us there.
Okay.
Oh, so another reason I wanted to go back. You know that like the criminal with all the face tattoos that's in the new that's on the new, like one of the first news bits you see.
Yeah.
Well, that's based off. They took the likeness from an actual guy, like they did for everything in the little like TikTok feed. And man, the fact that every single one of those like TikTok things in the game's trailer was like based off of a real life thing. It's crazy. But they call him the Florida Joker. I'll send you this link here. It'll get you a picture of him.
Oh, right.
And so he's demanding $2 million from GTA for the GTA 6 parody. Big whole thing about that. Again, actually, he posted this on TikTok, and according to PC Gamer, they know exactly what they can and cannot get away with. But with that in mind, they're not releasing on PC right away.
Really?
It's just gonna be on the newest consoles. But I think why they do that is to prepare for the newest generation of PC hardware that's coming.
Yeah, makes sense. Kind of have to.
Because it's like GTA 5, when they went to PC, there's that little bit of a graphical update. And then they brought that graphical update to the PS4 and the Xbox One. Sorry, the Xbox has so many weird names. I gotta pause to
I
think
know.
about it. Like you go from Xbox One to Xbox Series.
Yeah, I love it. I like how mine are just, you know which one you're on.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh, we're on the 6 now.
Yeah, it's like that's the sixth one.
Yeah. Playing GTA 6 on the PS5 6.
PS5 6.
Oh.
Yes, like, oh god, I hope we're not that old.
If we make it that far, something's happened.
Yeah.
But God, yeah, I think I don't even know if we might be kicking around when GTA 7 comes.
Isn't that so creepy to think about?
Yeah.
That you're just like, oh,
We might make it to Red Dead 3.
yeah, it's just like,
Well, you probably will, but I work blue collars. I'm inhaling welding fumes and everything else.
oh my god, like I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if like well, it's weird to think that GTA 8 is like not possible for me.
Yeah, we're not gonna see that.
Yeah, like that's just creepy to think about. Because as a kid, you're like, I'm just gonna play GTA for life, and the newest one, I'm gonna play it. It's like, no, I don't think I got the GTA 8 in me.
Yeah. We might have we're Yeah, no, we'll be in a retirement home when the GTA comes out. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm still gonna mess up the lobbies, but God.
Yeah, you're just gonna mess it up with your wallet and drop nukes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your weapon? This credit card.
Yeah. This pension that I have.
Yeah. Where's all your pension locked up in? Fortnite skins.
Oh my god. Just drained my 401k into this.
Yeah. The Fortnite AFTs. They're still trying to push that. Eh?
NFTs?
Yeah.
Really?
They're like there are actual like day trading sites and everything else like that still pushing that deal in some of the crypto. They're still trying to push we do EFTs, and I'm like, the only EFT that's worth anything is Escape from Tarkov. Sorry.
Yeah.
And that's the game.
God, yeah, I don't understand. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah. Their whole thing was like riding it to the moon, right?
So, yeah, speaking of riding it to the moon, the day before, have you read up anything about that?
The day before, no.
I asked you if you wanted to check it out with me a little while ago, and it's a good thing you didn't reply, or you didn't follow up on that.
Wait. The day before. Yeah, I remember you were like, yeah, it doesn't look like a winner. I go, yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because you're like, maybe. I go, I don't like maybes, dude. It's $60 or something stupid like that.
Yeah. So the company that made it is Fantastic Studio, spelt very missing letters. They made The Wild 8, which is actually a phenomenally popular game, despite what the company has done since.
Okay.
Where their first game was like this Among Us in the Winter.
Okay.
Kind of thing, where it's like you have this cabin, you gotta go collect resources, and you gotta try and alert authorities that you're stranded out in the Arctic.
I actually do. I saw somebody play that once. Yeah. Looks kind of interesting.
Yeah. So, and it's still rated positive to this day. And they released a couple other things, nothing of note. But then they hyped up the day before. About a couple of years ago, they dropped these really cool trailers, showed off a lot of cool tech, became the most wishlisted game on Steam. We have talked about it on the show before.
Yeah.
Long enough ago that I don't remember what episode we talked about it.
That's cool, though. Do we have enough episodes to say that?
Yeah, well, we've been going for over a year now. About to make it 2 years soon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Um, so they claimed that they worked on it tirelessly for 5 years,
Yeah.
right? Had nothing in any of the trailers that they showed previously,
Great.
and was found out to be an asset flip.
Cool.
And after 4 days of after the release, after 5 delays, this they changed their website into this apology. Sorry, we're closing down our studio. Essentially running away with the money. You can't even buy it on Steam anymore.
Wow. Is it a server-based game?
Yep.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, live service for the win.
Wow. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. But with that in mind, now I think it's NetEase. It's like this Chinese company that produces like a lot of games in all the different Asian countries. So there's this one game called Once Human that's been blowing up, and it's a free to play. It's got a beta going on right now.
Okay.
They're eventually planning on making it one of those games that you can play it on every platform, PC, console, your phone. It's just betaing it out in PC right now. And they do this really interesting thing of it's an apocalypse setting. And it has like all the survival mechanics, base building, this, that, NPC settlements, PvP, PvE.
Okay.
The PvE, like it's closed beta. Like the models and assets are there. They're still working on some of like they even said it, like they're working on some of like the enemy pathing and stuff like that. There's a couple things where it's like a couple of the mobs aren't aggroing properly. They do really well in the tutorial, but then like that, but it also, I don't know, my personal experience, and just might be the noob town area, that they're just not aggroing hard. But I've seen footage where, like, from other people's streams, where it's like, no, they're behaving as they should, and they're coming at you pretty aggressively.
Okay.
But the mobs, so it's not traditional zombies. So you're dealing with time fractures. This mineral from space that they're calling stardust, that has caused chemical reaction and radiation and stuff like that. That's corrupting it corrupts people and things on the planet. And some people it affects less and stuff like that. But you have these artifacts and these time, and it's shattering time somehow. You find the real timeline, and when at the end of the tutorial, and so you go to the real Earth to try and salvage what you can.
Oh, okay.
But you got these guys that are like, they're human, but their head is like one of those like professional movie headlamps. And if they focus the light on you, the light's so intense it's burning you.
Okay.
There's a businessman that his head becomes a suitcase with like a mimic tongue, where he starts spitting acid at you.
Okay, I don't like that.
So it's different. It's cartoony. It's not like hyper realistic.
Okay.
But it has more than what they promised in the day before did. And there's this whole meme going around with the day before. It's like the day before the scam, the day after the scam for like company closing.
I can't believe they. Well,
I can't believe they went from the most wish-listed game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not. I guess all you really have to do is just lie really well. And just, not give two damns about if you can deliver or not, and then you can just be the most wish-listed.
Yeah. But I think the thing is like people really want like a Last of Us MMO.
Yeah.
That's really what people want down at the end of it all. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. We had the whole Game Awards, and it's like, oh, we're celebrating all these things. Meanwhile, a lot of these companies have all these layoffs.
Yeah.
But we found out why Destiny 2's Bungie had layoffs
Well,
to begin with. So when they got bought, they were by Sony. There was this stipulation put in place: you need to make this much money. You need to make us money, essentially, or we're gonna place your heads of the company. And what the problem with the industry is, you do something once really, really well, and you have this big growth spurt. That growth spurt becomes the new norm, and when you drop below that bounce up, it's kind of like if you're looking at stocks, right? You see the projection of it going up, and then it stagnates. There's always the resistance that pulls it back down before it decides what it's going to do next, whether it's going to keep going down or go back up, right? And so it's like, are you going to ride the wave? Is it going to go down? Well, when, unfortunately, not like stocks, when things go down in the industry, you don't make money off of it.
Yeah, and that's all they want. They want to make money, which is obvious. Like, makes sense.
Yeah. But, so, with them not hitting that thing, they tried to do the layoffs and everything else like that. And then they got asked, it's like, well, did you consider anything else other than, laying off all this staff? Because it's like, your next expansion has to be a hit, but you're going to cut off your staff that's working on it. How is it supposed to be a hit? Yeah. Right? They asked us, like, well, what are your top people willing to take a salary cut? And they're like, no, it's like, we're not that kind of company. But then also in the same breath, they'll say, like, yeah, we've tried everything we could before laying those people off.
Oh yeah, it just takes people not nodding along to break that down real quick.
Yeah. With that, is the last story here. God, trying to pull it up. Oh, so circling back to Lethal Company, someone made it a mod called Arachnophobia.
Okay.
That makes it sure every time that you go into the place, you get the spider monster every single time.
Cool. Great. That's fun.
Are you arachnophobic?
No, I prefer that bugs didn't exist. That's pretty much it. Like,
so you're like, go Team Spiders?
Yeah. Like, just, yeah.
Now, I will tell you this. I'm not arachnophobic, but this game, when I first started playing it, I turn too fast and see a pipe, I jump. Because it's like it's like pixely enough just for you to basically be like, what's that in the dark?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, if you're down, we'll hit it up after.
Yeah.
That's so. The only other thing I got is kind of the Game Awards. The voice actor for Kratos shit hard. I can say this because we're in the extended edition. Shit hard on Call of Duty.
Really?
Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, he took a jab and he goes up there and in the second breath of his acceptance speech for like being a nominee or award or whatever, he goes like, "Yeah, my acceptance speech is longer than Modern Warfare 3's campaign."
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I kind of brought the heat with that one.
Shots fired. But Game Awards is gone, and I guess so. The Baldur's Gate 3 voice actor who plays Astarion got told to wrap up his acceptance speech.
Yeah.
And that made a lot of critics go hard on the Game Awards for like, oh, the people that it's for aren't getting what they want out of it.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying that it's mostly just advertising game trailers now, and just, there's not a lot of like, it's not an award show anymore. It's mostly just like a big reveal for games.
Well, the thing is like, so the first time they did it, all the big reveals were like at the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then people tuned out. So what they did to try and sprinkled the the announcements throughout the show, they keep people tuned in.
Okay.
Which, I mean, if you're gonna do the mental gymnastics of like, what's the whole point of this thing? Well, it's like, it's for these guys, and at the same time for everyone that's tuning in, it's to find out what's coming out in 1 or 2 years. Yeah. Right? So it's doing its job in that regard, and it's spreading it out to where they're getting the viewership for both things.
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
When you're looking at it that way. However, yeah, so again, we got Baldur's Gate 3 that won like a few awards. We got Cyberpunk for best ongoing game. Iron Mouse for content creator of the year. I don't even know who that is. Best adaptation was The Last of Us TV show. Best mobile game, Honkai Star Rail. Now, the thing that makes me like absolutely believe that is the CEO of the company that produces that game says if your game is gonna make $1 billion, it should look like $1 billion game.
Which is fair. Yeah.
And they have the whole like how they do their thing is like you have the new character of the season that has these special like cool animated abilities and stuff like that. But they do that gotcha mechanic where you roll to see what characters you get.
Yeah.
But after so many rolls, you're guaranteed kind of this character. But it's luck until then. So you can do it with the in-game currency that you earn or whatever, or you can buy things outright. So Skull and Crossbones finally has a release date.
Cool.
The Ubisoft game that's been in development hell for like 8 to like almost as long as GTA 5's existed.
Yeah.
It's been in development since Black Flag came out.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, it has.
That went from being what a Sea of Thieves game would be to now just kind of like a weird kind of just sailing, kind of like just pirate ship battle.
Yeah, like nothing else.
And pirate ship management. Well, it's online, and you can party up to 3 other pirate kingpins. We're calling them kingpins.
Okay. So, like, you can have
It's not a mafia game.
Yeah.
Pirate King, maybe it would be all right.
Kingpins is kind of weird, but like, so you can have multiple ships.
Yeah, so each of your buddy would be their own ship.
Okay, I kind of like that. That'd be kind of sweet.
Yeah, no, it's kind of cool in that regard. But I don't like how you collect the resources for the resource management. You just sail up next to an island, and then you're like pointing at the trees, and then they kind of start going through some chopping animations, and then it's like, all right, off we go.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, not at all. But the actual naval combat looks all right.
Sick.
But yeah, no, a lot of releases slated for 2025. Only a handful slated recently for 2024. Have to see what else kind of gets stealth bombed and dropped. And
yeah,
I don't know, is that in poor taste considering the world events?
Maybe.
All right. Think about that till after I said it, and then I brought it up.
Could have snuck that in there like a stealth
Let's
bomber.
rewind out of that. And again, thank you for listening and enjoying the show. Sorry for the complicated audio issues. We'll put a disclaimer at the front of the episode.
Yeah.
Again, thank you, Adam, for sharing your long weekend hangover story.
Yeah.
Survivor of the alcohol poisoning. The people's champ.
Yeah, holy.
The White Claw veteran.
I wish White Claw. I probably would have been fine. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, you know how many White Claw you can handle.
Well, that's just it. I can go through like a case of White Claw. No problem. I'm out, but I'm like conscious out.
Yeah, but once you get through the case of the White Claw, you're kind of like, oh yeah, you slosh it around, but I'm good.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, and also like I told my friends, I'm like, I go to bed. That's kind of the best part. Is like the amount of times I'll just be like, all right, going to bed. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, because I know, but I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I don't know where I am and don't know who I am, then it gets a little dicey quick.
I imagine it would. But again, thank you guys for tuning into the show. We are on Amherst Island 101.3 FM. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts as you're listening to us now. If you have a friend that just has a long work day and they need something to listen to get them through, great show. If they're nerdy, they like D&D, weird RP tabletop stuff. Yeah, that's me. Again, what helps us out great is if you rate us, comment on the socials. Thank you for your time, and I hope you guys enjoy our future episodes and this one.
Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.